Yo, 1 2 1 2. Now, this is something else. When everybody comes around and tries to make new memories or old memories, or get to a certain level where everyone is satisfied, you're going to have agendas. Now, on YouTube, we just did the Ricky Davis, LeBron James video. Now it's time to tell you what you didn't hear in the YouTube version. WWE contacts LeBron James, right? He's supposed to go to the WWE game. Ricky Davis was supposed to go with him. He's supposed to be side by side. LeBron, Ricky Davis. All of a sudden, they was like, I thought I was supposed to be going to the game. We're supposed to do the WWE thing. It's supposed to be a promotion. You know, me and LeBron supposed to go to the game. Then they was like, oh no, LeBron's going with, we're going to send a security guy. NBA security is going with LeBron. And they said, this is not with the NBA. So why is the NBA got NBA security on LeBron James when he travels? And they said, well, you got to talk to the league about that. Because Ricky was like, I was in a situation, I had to pay for my own travel. But he said, okay, this the golden kid, you know, this is what they want to do. So we just going to sit back and let it go. Let's go. All right, no problem. So the WWE incident happens. Then it switches up again. They go to this ridiculous format. And this format is, there's this, the Boys and Girls Club. And the Boys and Girls Club of America, and they're talking about 5-star academies and 5-star athletes. And they were saying that, hey, this is the way to go. 5-star athlete, I was one, LeBron is one, we're here to talk to the kids. So they asked who was the better. This one kid just like, who's the better shooter? And LeBron was like, oh, that's Ricky. Like, he quickly said Ricky was the better shooter. The NBA thought Ricky made LeBron say that. And he was like, you went in there and told the kids at camp you were better than LeBron. And you put LeBron on the spot where he had to say, he's like, the kid asked him the question. We're sitting there asking questions from the kids. He's like, I didn't say I was better than LeBron James. LeBron James answered the kid's question. He said, who's the better shooter on the basketball court? And LeBron said, me, instantly. He's like, that's on LeBron. But again, the Cavs was trying to make him the scapegoat for everything. No, there were a lot of different instances that took place that didn't make any sense whatsoever. Oh yeah. So when you start seeing things, when you start seeing things that transpire to a position that others don't understand, it starts moving to the realm of the ridiculous. Now they can tell you any pretty little story come to your head, just long at the end of that story they tell you the truth. That's the part you want to hear the most. Well, Ricky didn't understand what they were doing. When they got LeBron James, they thought hype, hype, hype. So that was in the beginning. They've gotten through all that. They've been through training camp working with LeBron James, trying to get him and not make him look awful. And that was basically what the coach, Paul Silas's job, help the kid look good. He's great in transition. And to make him look great, they dumped on Darius Miles. They knew they weren't going to re-sign Darius Miles once they got LeBron. So when they got LeBron, they traded him to the Portland Trailblazers. I mean, to the Clippers, I think. I'm sorry, because he used to be in Portland. And he signed a, 6-year. He had a 6-year, $48 million deal or something like that at the time. And they came along and traded him. Well, he was going through a lot, and he was kind of tight with Ricky Davis. So when you see somebody that's going through things, naturally you're supposed to be there for him. So Ricky Davis, even though he wasn't his teammate, was still there for him. He was going through a lot at the time, substance abuse, drinking. The NBA lifestyle was hectic, and you're on the road all the time. You're making a lot of money, and he was like, man, you think it's gonna last forever? And you got people telling you to save and do all this stuff, but it was crazy. And he's like, I had to list bankruptcy, start putting stuff in liabilities and things of that nature. And then Firestein came over and was like, well, we're moving, this thing with you and LeBron. And the media kept going with it. And he didn't know where it was coming from because the organization would tell Ricky to ignore it. Ignore it, man. Just ignore it. So, like I said, there's always corporate answers to the problem. But they act like LeBron was so beloved on the team. He wasn't. They got rid of everybody that didn't like LeBron. Or the NBA felt like they weren't going to play well together. And that was Carlos Boozer, Darius Miles, and Ricky Davis. Well, Boozer felt like he didn't care what they did. He didn't care about LeBron. And, he wasn't excited to play with a high schooler. That's how he was looking at it. He was like, they act like I'm a scrub. I'm like, what? Like, I'm a NCAA champion. Okay, I was on the third team. I was first team All ACC. I was MVP in the tournament of the ACC. I was the All Freshman when I came through of ACC. High school All American. I don't know like who they think I am. Y'all acting like I'm a nobody. So that's how he was looking at it in like the 2003-4 season. Like, do y'all know who the hell I am? So the Cavs had an option to allow him to become a restricted free agent, or they was like, look, we're gonna keep you on the team. And they thought they had a deal with the coach. They didn't have a deal with the coach. I mean, with the Cavs. So they said, man, we got to understand that we're going to give him about a $40 million deal for about 6 years. And if he'd have signed, you know, and he said, okay, we'll let you out your current deal. So they decided not to do that, and they released him from his contract, which made him a restricted free agent. Now, during that period, the Utah Jazz offered Boozer a same year, 6-year deal, and gave him $70 million. Now, Cleveland chose not to match that because they said, well, that's going to mess us up. So Gordon Gunn said, you know, that was an extra $30 million on the table. Or, you know, Cleveland wasn't willing to tie that up into Carlos Boozer. And it became ugly in the media, so they decided to let him go. Now, you got a player that complements the game of Drew Gooden, who could go through that without having the temperament. Boozer was somebody who wanted the ball. If Booz wanted the ball, you better give Booz the ball. If he ain't getting it, he's going to be quite upset. Now you got the Western Conference coming. You got all these problems coming. So they were acquired by the Bulls in like 2010, coming from Utah, having a stellar career over there. Once again, Ricky Davis is like, why are we destroying our team? And they said, well, we got to get a team that's more fitting to LeBron's style. And he's like, what style is that? Transition basketball? So that's what the NBA wanted. They were like, we're going towards a positionless basketball where they're bringing up power forwards to extend the game. Well, Ricky Davis played 12 seasons. And he never publicly went out and started going off and talking about the LeBron situation until it was over with. And they were like, are you serious? Ricky Davis is not on the same level as LeBron. And Ricky is like, what are we talking about here? Guys act like I was just a nobody, but they stifled me. They stifled my career. All because of that opening interview. before LeBron got on the team, LeBron wanted all of them gone. It needed to be LeBron's team. Anybody who would question that or would have any problem with that, they would have to go. Now you would say, well, it's common sense. That's supposed to happen. He's LeBron. But he was only LeBron in name at the time. It wasn't resonating on the basketball court as of yet. So with Ricky out the way, they need LeBron to be scoring 20-some points a game, getting 10 assists. They need him to be more like that. When Ricky wanted him to be more of a 15 and 13 guy. And said, well, until he establishes a jump shot that's consistent, the guy needs to be at least a 15 and 10 guy. And he could be that. You see, back then, scoring isn't what it is today. Okay? There's no protective system in place. What you have is a spectrum of the truth. Because back then, games used to be 88, 89, 92 to 87. A guy scored 20-some or 30-some points. He had a monster game. You're not going to have two 40-point scorers on the same team. That was out. Defense was prevalent. Now it's all arcade basketball. So when you start hearing people saying this person could have played in that era, and I'm like, dude, I'm from that era. No, he could not. And that's just speaking on experience. So when you start seeing people who can't understand how another person could have those thoughts, what they're basically saying is, we don't understand how you guys missed it. Another incidents that happened. LeBron had another bad game against Carmelo Anthony against the Denver Nuggets, where they would have both guys go head up. They normally play each other twice a year, and Melo would have the slight advantage over LeBron. And he had Nene. Nene was setting picks on Bron, and Bron was like, man, you got to call them picks out, bro, to Ricky Davis. And Ricky Davis is like, no, Boo's supposed to call that out. I'm not on your side. He's like, he gonna run up to Ricky Davis and tell him he got to call out picks. And Ricky says, no, I'm on the strong side. I'm on the strong side. Boo's got to call that out to you. Boo's is right there. So he got to call that out to you, not me. But LeBron don't know where people's supposed to be on the court. But he was looking for an excuse and a reason because he was getting embarrassed. Melo had him in the post and was doing pull-up jump shots on him. Turnaround post moves and just scoring and having a good game. Where LeBron is just starting along, he was learning, getting his foot in there. But the egg on his face and not really giving a LeBron a pat on the back like, that's all right, you're a rook. It'll be all right. It was on to the next. LeBron didn't understand that this was how the NBA was. Because he came from winning in high school, they almost never lost a game in high school, to now they're losing a lot of games. And LeBron felt like, I made a promise I'm going to make a difference in Cleveland. Like, dude, this is your rookie season. Calm down. You got a lot of years in this game. Relax. Let the game come to you. You got it. Well, he done been in runs before, so everybody in the NBA knew, take it easy on LeBron. LeBron was allowed to miss practice. Practice started at 10 o'clock. They moved it to 11:30. Ooh, sorry about that. They moved it to 11:30 because LeBron James had to do a commercial shoot for the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA. So he went to go do the commercial shoot. So they were late getting back. So LeBron was trying to get his rest. So they moved practice to it for an hour. Ricky Davis was pissed. Because he was like, man, I had a commercial thing I had to do. And they told me, like, Ricky, I know you got either the commercial people can move it or not. And now this rookie comes in and he gets his commercial thing where they pause everything for him. And Ricky was like, hell, I could have got more sleep. He's like, I didn't even get that message. Now that's what the narrative is. So he was like, you know what? Screw it, man. I'm tired of fighting. He's absolutely tired of fighting. So what he's saying is, we got to understand exactly what the procedure is and how we're going to move going forward. If not, what are we doing here? And eventually, everything changed and people's minds started to go in a different direction. So, if that makes any sense to you, which it didn't to a lot of people that was there. But that's just some of the privileges he was getting. No, the news girl that LeBron was messing with since like basically his rookie year. She was covering the news and LeBron would do her interviews and everything. And Ricky told him, he said, man, young buck, I'm going to tell you, stay away from the traps. That's what he's telling him, stay away from the traps. And then when the homegirl got pregnant, he was like, man, I think I messed up, B. He's like, you messed up? Yeah, I think I messed up. He was trying to get the girl to get rid of the baby. So he was like, man, you know any places I could go? So I think she's pregnant. And that's going to mess everything up. So it's a lot that went on. It's a lot that went on, you know, that people just don't know about. Oh, shit. Let me get this. I'm going to holler at y'all a little later. It's your boy Carcino thanking you.